we in this office have really tried to increase referrals. And referrals, in many instances, obviously come from insurance companies. We work very closely with CompSource, which is the old state insurance fund. But there are many businesses across the state that are self-insured, that work with third-party administrators, and oftentimes those companies are not as aware of our prosecutorial efforts as others. And they're a big part of our economy in the state of Oklahoma. Many of the large multi-state companies we have in Oklahoma are self-insured and work with TPA. So we're going to go out and try to raise awareness to make sure that they understand that we're taking seriously our role to prosecute fraud. You know, one of the things I talked about with Vince when I brought him in, Vince is an old prosecutor. We changed the leadership in the workers' comp fraud unit in order to really send a message, and to send a message that no fraud is too small. We want to make sure that people understand that when fraud is committed in Oklahoma, that this office takes it seriously, and it's going to be so it's almost like the Giuliani approach in New York, Nolan. When Giuliani came into New York City to attack crime there, violent crime was escalating and terribly high, but he did something that seemed out of place at the time. He went and prosecuted aggressively graffiti on the subway system and fare jumping with respect to accessing the subway, just in addition to all the other crimes that he was going after. But he sent a message, and the message was, no crime was too small, we're paying attention. It was the broken glass theory that we know about in the prosecutorial circles, and that is what we've done here in Oklahoma. We've gone after all types of fraud. You know, last year we prosecuted 2 attorneys in Tulsa and received restitution over $1 million and had those attorneys disbarred. I'm not sure that there's ever been a case where members of the legal profession have been prosecuted for committing workers' comp fraud. So it's the type of fraud that we're going after in addition to the amounts, but we want those self-insured businesses, we want all businesses to know, insurance companies to know, that we're after systemic change, and we believe prosecuting fraud leads to that kind of systemic change. We're actually working with chambers of commerce across the state, working also with the state chamber to go on the road, if you will, and interact with companies in various cities, working with the local chambers there to bring them in to a meeting to let them know how to refer cases to us, what we do upon a referral.
So you sending Vince out? Or?
No, I'm going.
You're going to go?
I'm going with Vince, and we'll actually probably go multiple times, but in different capacities. But you know, we want to help educate. You know, it's an awareness campaign, number one, but it's also an education campaign. You know, you want these businesses to know what they can do to collect the kind of information that's necessary to prosecute fraud. And oftentimes, you know, the effort or objective when a company's investigating fraud is to it's claim oriented. How to, you know, it's defending the claim. And we want them to know that our efforts really are not tethered to the defending of the claim. We can prosecute fraud whether they settle the claim or not. And so we want to have a file, information, video testimony, you know, whatever else that they have, documentation. And we want to help raise awareness, but also educate them about how to work with this office to go out and more successfully prosecute fraud.